Okay, good afternoon, students. So, since I'm not here today to do these notes with you, I have recorded myself speaking so that way you can get the notes and you can also hear my examples and how I work through the examples so that you're prepared for the worksheet that you and a partner will do after you finish your notes. So I'm going to start on Gerund Example 2. That's where most of my classes finished yesterday. So they do not appreciate my singing. So I am going to write over here on my little piece of paper. They do not, let's turn it so that it's the right side up for you guys. They do not appreciate my singing. Now, I told y'all yesterday the first way to tell if an ing word is a verb or not is to look and see if it has a helping verb in front of it. So look at this one. Does singing have a helping verb in front of it? No. No, it doesn't. This is a pronoun describing who's singing. So that means that it is not a verb. So here is the slide of notes for you to fill in. If you need to pause so that you can get the information, I encourage you to do so. But it says, does singing have a helping verb in front of it? No, it doesn't. Therefore, singing in this sentence is not a verb. So, let's check and see if it's a noun. The first check we're going to do is going to involve working through the sentence. So it says, always eliminate prepositional phrases, adjectives, and adverbs, then find the verb. So let's look at our sentence again. They do not appreciate my singing. Well, I don't see any prepositional phrases. Remember, you have the blue sheet to use to help you with prepositional phrases if you need to. I do see an adverb. Not is an adverb, so I'm going to mark through not here. Okay, get rid of that adverb. It said, and then find the verb. So the verb here, I actually see two verbs here. I see appreciate and do. Well, do comes before another verb, which means that that has to be a helping verb. And appreciate, that's an action. You're doing something. You're appreciating something. So that's an action verb. So now what does it tell me to do to figure out if I have a noun or not? Okay. It tells me the verb here is appreciate because do is a helper and not is an adverb. Ask who or what appreciates, and that's the subject. The answer is they. So, I'm going to label they as my subject because they are doing the action of the verb. Alright, that still leaves me with my gerund back here though, singing. So I've got to decide what part of speech singing is here. So let me look at my notes and see what it tells me to do. So here's what it says after the animation. Okay, it says if singing is not the subject, but it is a gerund, then this word must be functioning as some other kind of a noun. Remember, they can be, gerunds can be the subject, they can be direct objects, they can be indirect, they can be a predicate nominative and a positive. Don't worry about that right now, we're going to come back and learn those later. Or the object of a preposition. So let's figure out what this one is. So, if they is doing the verb, then we need to think about singing. Is singing in some way receiving the verb? Because I have an action verb, which means that I can only have subject, action verb sentence, subject, action verb, direct object sentence, or subject, action verb, indirect object, direct object. So in this case, I have to decide if I have a direct object or not. That's the first thing I should do. I think that I do, and here is why. If they is not doing the appreciating, because they don't appreciate it, they're doing the action of the verb. Well, is something receiving the action of the verb? Who or what is not getting appreciated? The singing is not. So that makes the singing the direct object. So this is the sentence type we have. So here are your notes over that information. One more time. Again, if you need to pause to get the notes down, do so. Okay, so here is the second way we can check. Since we have an action verb, we saw that. Is it possible that we have a direct object? We just figured that out. To see if it's a direct object, ask yourself, the subject, the action verb, who or what. So they don't appreciate who or what. They don't appreciate the singing. The answer is singing. Therefore, we know that a direct object must always be a noun or a pronoun. So we can know that in this sentence, singing is a noun. So it's a gerund functioning as the direct object. So we're doing the exact same type of sentence labeling that we did before. We're just looking at the words now instead of just the parts. Here's the shortcut. You could take out the word singing and replace it with a word you know that's a noun, like dog. Does it make sense grammatically? Now, it may not make sense as a sentence necessarily, but does it make sense grammatically? If it does, then your ing word is probably a gerund. So let me show you what that looks like. So I took it out. They do not appreciate my dog. So I replaced singing with another noun. The sentence still works grammatically, so this singing must be a gerund. Remember, gerunds always work as nouns. They can do anything in a sentence that a noun can do. They look like verbs, but they're not. They are nouns. All right, let's do the last example. Grandma enjoyed the kids' show of singing. So we know that we're checking to see if that ing word is a verb by looking for any helping verbs in front of it. I don't see any helping verbs there. Here's your notes on that. Does singing have a helping verb in front of it? No. Therefore, singing in the sentence is not a verb. I know that seems like it's not going to matter very much, but when we're looking and deciding if our ing words are verbs, gerunds, or participles, you need to know how to tell the difference. And the easiest way is that if you have an ing word with a helping verb in front of it, then you've got a verb. If it doesn't have a helping verb in front of it, you need to figure out what it is. So let's figure out what it is. So, if it's not a verb, is it a noun? Let's check. So remember, always eliminate prepositional phrases, adjectives, and adverbs, then find the verb. So let's go do that. Grandma enjoyed the kids' show of singing. Now you guys have that blue worksheet that has prepositions on it. So if you need help, you can use that. I have an extra copy on the board, but you may not take it out of the classroom. You may use it, but it needs to stay. So if I looked at that, I would see that of is a preposition. So of singing should be a prepositional phrase. So I eliminate those first. But that eliminated my ing word. So what does that mean? Let's look. Wait, singing is part of the prepositional phrase in this sentence, of singing. Singing appears to be the object of the preposition. Object of the preposition is the noun that goes with the preposition. So like if I had under the table, under would be the preposition telling us location. The table would be the noun that goes with the preposition. Since I know that objects of prepositions are always nouns or pronouns, I can know that singing in this sentence is a gerund functioning as the object of the preposition. Okay, that's check one. And that's the end. Alright, here's what you need to do now. Now what I want you to do is the sub is going to give you guys a worksheet. And you need to work with a partner to fill out that worksheet. Use your notes to help you. Not just these notes. You have notes on sentence types. You also have the posters that are up over the long board in the classroom. You have notes on gerunds. You have your preposition worksheet to help you. Work through this handout right here using that information. Now this handout has some examples of different gerunds being used as different parts of the sentence. So this one is cooking is my favorite hobby as a subject. My younger sister likes swimming. That's a direct object. Tony gives baking his best effort. That's an indirect. How much money have you saved for shopping? That's the object of a preposition. Dustin's favorite sport is skiing. That's a predicate nominative because is a linking verb here. Okay. My hobbies, cooking and dancing, require a lot of preparation. That's in a positive. You can mark right through that one. We're not looking at that one today. Okay? So you'll work through these different sentences and look at what it's asking you. So in this one, you're circling the gerund and then you're labeling the verb. So label it action or helping or linking. On this section, it's talking about gerund and gerund phrases. So you will look at how you can have a single word gerund, laughing is healthy for the soul, or you can have a multi-word gerund, laughing at one's own gaffes is healthy for the soul. Down here, you'll underline the gerund phrases. This is where it gets a little tricky. A gerund can function as any part of speech that a noun can. So you'd identify the function. So is it acting as the subject of the sentence, the direct object of the sentence, the predicate nominative or predicate noun, or the object of a preposition? This is the one where I think you'll need your notes to do. And then down here, you are going to write some sentences with gerunds as these different parts of speech. So an ing word as the subject of the sentence. An ing word as the direct object. Alright, you are not expected to finish this today. You will be having time on Wednesday to finish this in class, but I expect you to work hard with your partner and not goof off. I will see you tomorrow. Be good for the sub, guys. Bye.